welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about the importance of how to develop a growth mindset, and I'm also going to showcase one of the Built to Perform team members who has done exactly that on his progress so far, and I'm going to show you how we've actually done that. Not only that, I'm going to take you through why you should be keeping your goals to yourself. Now, there is a difference between sharing and communicating your goals with a trusted advisor, such as a coach, and your social circle, colleagues, friends, and family. So before we do that, this morning I've got a pool session to do, so I'm going to be jumping in the pool and I'll be speaking to you guys a little bit later on. This is my own observation, but also looking back on coach's notes. You can really see at the minute that I am doing, well, there's sort of three things that I've noticed actually. I'm really over rotating in the pool. So my shoulders and my back are pretty much vertical here up to the ceiling, which means that I'm really over rotating my upper body, which is causing my legs at the back here to scissor across and scissor out. That being said, I actually completed an Ironman with this technique. Don't get me wrong, it killed me because I'm really inefficient, and if you're inefficient, you will lose energy in the water. So I think my time was like 2 minutes 20 seconds per 100 meters, which is like stupidly slow. And looking at this, you can clearly see why. So as I say, lots of work to be done, getting in the pool, getting the drills done, and starting to move that needle. While I'm here, I just want to thank you first of all for following along with my journey with this next fitness event that I'm going to be doing. And I thought this would be just a little bit of an opportunity to maybe explain a little bit more of what I do. I first started out as a personal trainer on the gym floor, as every personal trainer does, having to go out, speak to people, interact, get to know them a little bit, see if you can help them out in terms of their fitness journey and all those sorts of things. And when you work with clients for a period of time, they have to install trust into you that you're going to be the person to help them get into shape. And that level of trust then offers a space for you to offer a different perspective on things that clients may be going through. So because of that, what I noticed is that I was having more of an impact with clients with the conversations between the sets and the reps, which meant that they weren't just coming to me to get into shape. There was something deeper going on, multiple different things, right? So then it came to me that actually the 1 hour that I was with a client was nothing compared to the other 23 hours that we could be working on. Hence the fact, Built to Perform. Built to Perform is a holistic approach to your energy, health and performance, personally, physically and professionally, with your fitness, focus and fortitude. With those three in mind, it allows me to take a stance who can see the picture from outside the frame. And the best way for me to explain it, and this is the best way of explaining to clients who come on board the program, it's very much like you're the boxer in the ring. You throw a few punches, you take a few hits, then you come into the corner, and that's my responsibility. I'm the corner man. Offer better perspective, offer soundboard, offer accountability, and more importantly, offer support. And reality is, I'm outside of my client's world. They're in their world, doing their thing, going to work, got relationships, got their home, their family. I am external to all of that. Which brings me on to this guy. We've just took Greg through a body recomposition, and he's now in a position where he's about to do a half marathon, and then after his half marathon, we're gonna switch the focus and start to look at building strength and building muscle. This is what Greg has had to say so far.
The three headline numbers are: I've lost 9 kilos, waist size gone down, now 99.5 centimeters, and that's dropped down from 112.5. So I mean, that's, you know, it's a huge amount of difference. My posture's better. I'm pushing weights now and squatting weights that, you know, I've never squatted or pushed before. And this is, you know, approaching the age of 50. But most importantly, I'm doing all these things consistently. One of the keys to the success of that is kind of one of the foundational blocks of what you do, is about this development of a mentality of what optimum is, what good is, what okay is. And sort of almost reframing your mindset is, it doesn't matter really if you press the fuck it button on a sort of mini occasion. The most important thing is getting back onto that saddle the following day. And it's that key piece of mentality that's now blockchained into my approach that was absolutely missing with any attempt I've had before.
As Greg well mentioned, the biggest thing that we've worked on is his mindset and his approach towards his health and fitness. Very much like others, And I've been a victim of this before. The all or nothing mentality. You're either all in or you're all out. So with Greg, what we've done is we've learned how to win. Setting 3 different scenarios on a sliding scale for every week. So rather than going, I'm going to hit the gym 3 times this week and I'm going to eat clean every day and I'm going to do blah, 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 whatever it is. When you don't hit that or you miss it, it can be very easy to beat yourself up and say, well, I haven't achieved X, I haven't achieved Y, therefore what's the point? With the sliding scale, we work with optimal, good, okay. Each 3 of those scenarios is a win. If you play with the sliding scale, you leave yourself more opportunity to win. And when you have that as your mindset every week, you start to become an inner coach between the 2 ears versus an inner critic. And what I mean by that is giving yourself praise for the things that you actually have done versus the perception of you not doing enough. So that's one thing we've worked on with Greg, is really reframing his mindset to more of a growth mindset. And through repetition, as he well said, he's now in a position where he can maintain his results consistently. And he's now got enough evidence and trust in himself to show that he can do it. And that's what it's all about. And he set the foundation for us to really start to hone in on some strength and start to build some muscle. Well done, Greg. Absolute legend. Keep moving that needle, my friend. Talking about building muscle, I think it's my turn. And I like to work my sessions in a conjugate method. I've always just liked that way of training, which basically means you have a max effort day, you have a dynamic effort day. I do 2 uppers, 2 lowers. At the minute, my lower body stuff is body weight stuff. Today is a max effort day, so I'm going to take you through that. Before each training session, I will spend 10 to 20 minutes doing mobility work to make sure that I'm efficient and ready to go. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's the importance of doing mobility work. And if you want to see this full mobility routine, then you can. If you click the link that's just popped up above this video, that will take you to the full mobility routine in a little bit more detail than this, so you can start to implement it into your training sessions. And once you've done that, comment below on one of my videos to let me know if you found it useful and if it's made a difference. Okay guys, so first exercise, we've got a flat barbell bench press. We're going to work 1 to 2 reps. So this is heavy and this is hard. We want to get up to around 95% of our 1 rep max. And I'll be doing 5 to 7 sets total with 3 minutes rest in between, just to make sure that I'm fully recovered before going into the next set. So we finished off here at 110 kilos for 2. Then we went into a plate loaded chest rest. I really like the angle of this. It really forces the elbows underneath, and we're looking for 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Now what I like to do is I like to do something that really engages my back. So there's a lot of pressure that's gone on the chest and the shoulders already, so I really want to take some of that off. And I like to do this machine. It's my favourite back machine, which is a low row. So really squeezing the lats and making sure that they're fired up. Now we're going to do a tricep. So we're looking at the first exercise, which is a plate loaded shoulder press for 6 to 8 reps. And then the second exercise, which is going to be a standing dumbbell Arnold press for 8 to 10 reps. And then a dumbbell lateral raise, which is going to be 10 to 12 reps. So you go up in 2 reps for each exercise within the tricep, and we're looking at 3 to 4 sets total. So that was the first one. This is the second one, standing dumbbell Arnold press. I'm really enjoying this at the minute. I really enjoy standing up and keeping my core nice and tight with this one. You can do it seated as well, obviously, but this exercise in particular really does work my shoulders nicely. So I'm really enjoying this at the minute. So this is the second one, dumbbell Arnold press. Then we're going to go straight into a dumbbell lateral raise, and we really want to try and keep the thumbs pointed down as though you're pouring a glass of water on the floor. So you're leading with the elbows and bringing them just to the side ever so slightly. And as I say, some people come to the front, but you really want to find it so you get a good starting angle so you can really hit the shoulders again. Then we've got a cable face pull. We're looking at 3 sets of 12 reps with this one, really stretching forwards and squeezing the shoulder blades together at the back. And then some nice, fun, juicy pump bicep curls to finish. So we've got an EZ bar, and then I like to go from an EZ bar straight into a flat barbell curl on this. keeping the weight light, but really, really squeezing the biceps and keeping it nice and strict. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I'm going to talk to you today why it's going to be really, really powerful for you to keep your intentions and your goals and your aspirations to yourself, unless you're going to seek a coach who's going to help you along the journey. But I'm talking about your friends and your family and all those sorts of things. When you communicate doing something to those group of people, it makes you feel good in the moment. You feel really excited, you feel energized, and you've got this level of uninformed optimism. If you think about what's just happened, you've gave yourself a dopamine hit, and you're getting praise from other people who want to see you do well for inaction. You haven't done it yet. You've just given them the idea that that's what you're going to do. I'm going to do a triathlon, I'm going to read 10 pages of a book every day, I'm going to go for a walk every day around the block, or whatever it is. You're going to get two types of people who come back to you. Ones who are on board and think, yes, fair play to you, well done, I can't wait to see how you get on with it. Or they're going to say, yeah, fucking whatever, mate, all the best. I bet you don't. Reality is those two types of people are still external to the reason that you're doing what you want to do, which is, yes, in a short amount of time, a really powerful driver for you, because ultimately the ones who have got a negative opinion against it will give you a feeling of, right, fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong. And the ones who said, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you get on, are still part of that external, and you want to prove it to them. Point being, it's all external. You're doing it for the other person, whereas actually you need to really focus on doing these things for yourself, because it's you versus you. So the more that you keep it into yourself, it will give you an innate power and drive for you to continually build your own level of routines, habits, discipline that will get you towards that event or whatever it is that you're working towards. Really use this as an opportunity to showcase to yourself and a future version of yourself what it's like when you show up every day and you apply the routines, the habits and the discipline towards the goals. And ultimately, whenever you complete the goal it is you want to set out, you've shown people by example and you've shown people by action, not just by the words coming out of your mouth. So I mentioned something earlier, uninformed optimism. Now this comes from the emotional cycle of change, which has been adapted from Don Kelly and Daryl Connor. Now I'm going to put this on screen up here, and as you can see with this emotional cycle of change, it's almost like you have to dip down before coming up. Uninformed optimism is that feeling that you get to start with January the 1st. There's ultimately just a high level of motivation that you naturally feel towards your goals and what you want to do. There is no sort of motivation that you're waiting for, you just do the things that you said you were going to do. And then as time goes on, you reach stage number 2. Now using the example of the 1st of Jan, maybe you've hit Feb and March, and now you've suddenly realised the level of work below the surface that is required for the goal that you've set out to achieve, and it just starts to grind, and you just start to miss a few days, or you just start to slip on a few different habits. Ultimately, you now have something called informed pessimism. You are fully aware of how difficult this is going to be for you. And then more time goes on into stage 3, and this is where people usually start to hit the fuck it button. You start to hunt for other things in stage 3. Maybe you've started on a diet and it's just not working for you, so you go to another diet or you go to something else. Maybe you've started a gym routine and it's just not working out for you, and you try something completely different. Reality is the stage 3, valley of despair, where you hit the lowest point, is where you will naturally find it in yourself to find something shiny and new, also known as shiny object syndrome. Now the only way to get through this into stage 4, which is informed optimism, is ultimately repeating the cycle, turning up, showing up day after day, continually working on the things that you know you should be doing to move the needle towards your goals, regardless of how you feel about it. It's going to feel difficult, it's going to feel challenging, but if you keep operating with the desired behavior and the desired result that you are working towards, regardless of how you feel about it, you will continue to show up. And that's what it's all about. It's about putting the tools and the tactics in place to help you continually getting back up to that level of informed optimism where things are just starting to move where you want them to go. And then before you know it, you'll be around stage 5 if you keep going, which is success and fulfillment. Maybe you've crossed the finish line of an event you wanted to do. Maybe you've lost 9 or 10 kilos of body weight. Maybe you've improved your bench press by 10 to 20 kilos. Whatever it is that you are setting out for yourself and aspiring towards, you need to understand this emotional cycle of change and how you can adapt it into your current lifestyle to show, right, what are the things that I'm willing to suffer for in order for me to get to where I want to be? Rather than asking yourself, what is it I want to do? Ask yourself, what am I willing to suffer for? Because that will give the suffer meaning, which means that it comes from internal. It means something to you. That's your why. Not based on anybody else's opinion or proving other people wrong or whatever it is. So keep it to yourself. Show up for you. Do it for you. And start to measure it against who you were yesterday. And have you moved that needle 1% to today? And what do you need to do to move the needle forwards tomorrow? I hope you found that useful. Thank you for being with me on this video today. And I'll see you in the next one.